Brazil's former president Jair Bolsonaro charged in connection with alleged coup plot. Bill Maher's report former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has been charged by the country's chief prosecutor with attempting a coup after he was defeated in the 2022 presidential election. The 69-year-old was handed 5 charges over the alleged bid to prevent his successor, President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, for taking office after a bitter election race. The charges include allegations that he planned to poison Lula and shoot dead Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes. Bolsonaro denies wrongdoing and says he is the victim of political persecution. The prosecutor's advice will now be considered by the Supreme Court. If accepted, Bolsonaro and 33 others will be formally charged and will have to face trial. The former president was banned from running for office for 8 years after being accused of undermining Brazilian democracy by falsely claiming that electronic ballots used in the October 2022 poll were vulnerable to hacking and fraud. The bitterly fought election was won by an extremely narrow margin by President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, known more commonly as Lula. Bolsonaro never publicly acknowledged his defeat and left Brazil for the U.S. 2 days before Lula was sworn in as president. On 8 January 2023, his supporters stormed government buildings in the capital Brasilia. Parts of the buildings were ransacked and police arrested 1,500 of the rioters. 3 months ago, the federal police released a report accusing Bolsonaro of playing a lead role in planning and organizing an attempted coup, including by proposing the idea to key figures in the military to stop Lula taking power. The document charging Bolsonaro says the responsibility for acts that were harmful to democratic order lies with a criminal organization led by Bolsonaro himself. In practice, this means legal proceedings are beginning and Bolsonaro will likely face a trial. One of the charges is for the crime of armed criminal organization, allegedly led by Bolsonaro and his vice presidential candidate Walter Braga Neto. The alleged plot included a plan to poison Lula and shoot dead Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes. One of Bolsonaro's rivals, Attorney General Paulo Gonnet Branco, said. Allied with other individuals, including civilians and military personnel, they attempted to prevent, in a coordinated manner, the result of the 2022 presidential elections from being fulfilled, he said.